Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Diksha, and I will be your host for this event. We are excited to have you all here today to learn about inquiry cycle at foundational level. The event will follow same instructions as before. We'll put everyone on mute, except for our speaker to avoid any disruption. We will disable the chat. So please write down all your questions, and at the end there will be a 10 minutes questionnaire session, and then we'll enable the chat for everybody. The session is being recorded as well, so which will we upload to our YouTube channel. So please stay until the end. As we all know, there is a 5 minutes of assessment that must be completed in order for you to obtain your certificates for this webinar. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker for today before we begin the program. Ms. Pragya Pandita, with the Masters in Biochemistry and B.Ed in Education. She is an instructional designer and a subject matter expert more than a decade in designing and developing curriculums and content for CBSE, ICSE, and IB boards. Now, I would like to turn the rein over to you, Ms. Pragya.
Thanks, Diksha, for the warm introduction. I welcome you all, and let's begin today's session. Inquiry has become the buzzword after the NCF document was released. I hope you all are aware and acquainted with the term inquiry, as the Eye in the Smile curriculum continuously focuses upon the inquiry cycle. Today, we are going to unpack the phases of inquiry through Smile EVS. So let's begin our today's session. Okay, so I have two pictures here. So if you look at these two pictures, what do you think these two pictures are about? So if you look at the first picture, the first picture depicts the traditional methods of teaching, the traditional way of teaching. If we look at this picture, we can see that the teacher is writing on the board. She is teaching about some topic, and all the children are just looking at it. While as on the second picture, if we will see that the teacher is letting the children explore the globe. Maybe they are exploring about the different continents that we have on the globe, or different oceans, or why do we have sea routes, land routes. It can be anything. So basically in the second picture, the exploration is happening. So whenever there is exploration, it means inquiry is taking place. So when we say traditional way of learning, in traditional method of learning, we learn about things. While as in inquiry method, we learn things. So another useful way to contrast between the two is, in traditional method, we tell our children what to think. While as in inquiry method, we tell our children how to think. So traditional is thinking what, while as inquiry is thinking how. Okay. So I have a small activity for you guys, a small warm-up activity before we begin with our session. So for this activity, Ms. Diksha is going to, okay, I have pasted a link. So you need to just open this link. It will take you to the Nearpod, and then a code. I will be sharing a code also here. You need to paste that code and you need to do the activity. So once you do this, I will guide you what exactly you need to do. Am I clear? Okay. Hope you guys have opened the link. And you need to paste this code there. So you can just turn on your cameras and show me a thumbs up if you are able to access the page. Have you opened the Nearpod? You can switch on your cameras and let me know. Okay, so what is the issue you are facing? You need to click on this link. Miss Diksha, will you be able to guide them?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
The link is working.
So you just tell them the steps, how they need to do it so that they are able to open it.
Yeah. So, so in the chat box, the quiz link, the link has been mentioned. So please click on the link, and then you have to paste this code, which ma'am has shared. Just a minute.
So if we are clicking on the link, so it will not ask for the code, it will directly take you to the login page. So everyone can just click on the link, and there it'll ask you to log in via an email address, put in your name and email address, and then you can start the activity.
Okay, I can see many of you have started. So what you need to do in this activity is that you have a drag and drop button on the left side. So you need to drag, there are two methods of teaching given here, traditional and inquiry based. So you need to drag the pointers towards the traditional or inquiry based depending upon what you think it is. So I can see some of you guys have been doing it. Miss Anita, mastery of content with less emphasis on the development of skills, teacher-centered. Okay, so you have 5 minutes, 3 minutes of time to do this activity. So you need to place the pointers under traditional or inquiry-based, depending upon what you think that particular pointer is about. You have 1 more minute. I hope you guys are able to do this. Okay, I can see the responses here. Miss Astha is trying to do. Okay, Miss Anita Singh. Under traditional ways of learning, mastery of content with less emphasis on the development of skills. This is right. Traditional way, it is a teacher-centered. Use of resources is limited. Preparation for good grades and in-school success, correct. Closed system classroom, right. Under inquiry, I can see on-target questions that would tend to cause deviations from the plan are met with. We will get to that later. No. This is under traditional ways of learning. Under inquiry, we let children explore, we let them ask what, why, how. We address all their queries in under inquiry-based learning. Lesson plans are used to organize the value steps in the learning process for the whole class approach. Focus is on using and learning content means to develop information processes. This is right. Okay, let's see somebody else's. So I hope all of you are able to do this activity now. So let me get back to the PPT. Okay. So we had two teaching methodologies. One is traditional method, which we used to follow till last few years, but nowadays everyone is moving towards the active learning or experiential learning, or we can say inquiry-based learning. So under traditional method of learning, what we have, there is less emphasis on the development of skills. The focus is towards the completion of the syllabus. We want our children to achieve good grades. So teacher acts as a dispenser of the information while students are as receivers. On the other hand, when we talk about inquiry-based learning, in inquiry-based learning, we let our children explore. We are focusing on the skill development. It is an open system classroom where children are able to interact with their outside environment also. Okay. So what do you think, why there is a need for inquiry? Why do you think we need to have inquiry in our classroom? You can type in your answers in the chat box. Okay. My question is why there is a need for inquiry. As teachers, why do you think we need to have inquiry-based classrooms? Anyone? Okay. When we say inquiry to know the exact state of mind of our student, okay, to get response, develop curiosity, students' feedback, to get deeper knowledge about the concept, engagement, to clear doubts. Students know the topic well, develop more interest, right? Right. Okay. So inquiry is about what learners do and involves numerous connections, skills, processes, disposition, etc. It is a fluid, messy, and complex process. The intention of having an inquiry cycle or the inquiry-based learning is to guide the teachers and learners thinking beyond their capacity and to assist the students to move from known to unknown and to engage them in a fruitful dialogue. Okay. And the inquiry cycle that we are talking about here is by Keith Murdoch. So Keith Murdoch was a classroom teacher in Melbourne whose interest in teaching learners in the experiential manner and application-based learning led to the formulation of this inquiry-based learning. Okay. So under inquiry-based learning, we have total of 6 steps. And these 6 steps, they are non-linear. It is not necessary that we need to move in this cyclic order, in this cyclic manner. We can enter this cycle anytime and we can move out of this cycle anytime. Okay, I will explain you how do we do it once we move forward. Okay, so when we say inquiry, triggering inquiry is triggering curiosity in the learners, and triggering curiosity in the learners is much more complex than mere target delivery. If we have to just deliver the content, if we have to just teach the content to the children, it is not that difficult. But if we need to evoke the curiosity of the learners, it is a difficult task, and we need to plan how we have to trigger their curiosity, how they will become inquisitive. Okay. So next coming to, and our EVS books are based upon the inquiry cycle. Okay. So when I say EVS, so EVS is the pivot of the smile. It has total of 9 themes, and based upon these 9 themes, we have centered all other subjects in the smile curriculum. So for pre-primary, we have total of 8 themes. That is your All About Me, in which we are talking about human body, family, feelings, emotions, our relationships. Then we have people, places, and safety, under which we are talking about neighborhood, we are talking about community helpers. Then food we eat, we are talking about different types of food, food from plants, food from animals. Under the theme, the world of animals, we are talking about types of animals, their habitats. Under world of plants, we are talking about types of plants, parts of a plant. Water and air theme is about water and air. And then on the go is about transport and communication. And the wonderful world is about earth. So this is for pre-primary. So for pre-primary, we have total of 8 themes. While as once we come towards the primary section, we have total of 9 themes. And these 9 themes are same as these 8 themes are same as pre-primary. Only one theme has been added, that is things we make and do, under which we are talking about the things that humans make, like clothes, houses, machines. So under things we make and do theme, we talk about human made things. Okay. And the main concepts that we are covering in EVS is, we have concepts from science, we have taken concepts from social science. And the main concepts that we have is human body, we have relationships, then we have, we have human body, we have under social science, we have family, we have neighborhood, we have community helpers, constitution. While as in science, we are talking about states of matter, force, work, we are talking about sounds, we are talking about transport, we are talking about food. Okay. So these are the different topics that we will be covering across. Okay. And based upon the NCF, the National Curriculum Framework that has been released last year, and the guidelines from the NEP, we have tried to inculcate all the 4C skills into our lesson plans, into our chapters. Along with it, we have also tried to develop the life skills and the digital skills in our learners. Okay. So now let's begin with the inquiry cycle. Let's unpack the phases of inquiry through EVS chapter Plants Around Us. Okay. Okay, now I have a question for you guys. So before starting a chapter, what do you do? How do you start your chapter? How do you plan for your chapter? Please type in the chat box. Pre-knowledge discussion, okay. We inquire from students first. We collect the prior knowledge. We will start from living things. We ask questions on previous knowledge, okay. We start with an activity, connect with the children through prior knowledge, okay. This is how we start our chapter, right? We show plants. Okay. So when I say planning, the first step before teaching anything, we plan. And planning is the first step. Under planning, what we do, first of all, we refer to the curriculum documents, to the syllabus that we have. After that, we write the learning objective. After that, we try to make, we plan activities, we try to make some cross-curricular links. And planning, we have 2 types of planning. One is planning ahead and planning backwards. So while doing the inquiry cycle in the class, we have to do 2 types of planning. One is planning ahead and planning backwards. So can anyone tell me what can be planning ahead and what can be planning backwards? I'm talking about planning. So the first step is planning. So what do we do under planning ahead and what do we do under planning backwards? Sometimes the teacher initiates a topic by showing a related teaching aid. Okay, this is how we activate the prior knowledge of the learner. My question here is, why do we need planning? Okay, and how we planning ahead means going further. Okay, and can you please tell me what we will do under that? Planning ahead means future, correlated to the lesson. How to introduce the topic in an effective way. And what can be planning backwards? We should plan about the topic. Okay. Nice. I can see so many responses. By activity, showing some teaching, planning ahead is about, yes, planning ahead is not about outcomes, it is about learning objectives. Okay. So when I say planning ahead, so first of all, I need to understand what is it I want our children to learn through this inquiry or through this particular topic, through this particular lesson that I'm doing with them. After that, what knowledge my children might need to move towards this understanding. If I'm talking about types of plants, for example, so what do I need to show to my children so that they will be able to understand the different types of plants that are present around us? After that, I need to see what are the skills that should be developed through this particular lesson that I'm doing with them. What are the outcomes which are addressed in this inquiry? How I will do the assessments. So under planning ahead, before starting any topic, first of all, we need to be clear with our learning objective. What our learning objective is, that should be clear. After that, what we should know what are the skills that I am looking forward to, how I am going to do my assessments, whatever learning my child will have, how I am going to assess that. After that, once I am done with this planning ahead, then I do planning backwards. So once I am done with the chapter under planning backwards, what I do, what did we plan to cover? This was my objective for that particular day. Was I able to cover that completely or not? Okay. What are the learning gaps that I faced while conducting this particular chapter or this particular lesson? Why those learning gaps were there? Was I able to achieve all the learning outcomes that I decided for this particular lesson or not? So this is what planning backwards is. Okay. Next is the probing questions. So what are probing questions? Can we say planning backwards is learning outcome? Actually, yes, we can say that. Okay. So what is the importance of probing questions? Triggering questions to develop curiosity, which initiate inquisitive minds, topics related, okay, which will insist students to think, which enable them to think, checking prior knowledge. Okay. So when I say probing questions, in inquiry cycle, or we can say in experiential learning also, probing questions, they form a very important point because let me give you an example. For example, if I am talking about natural disasters, if I'm asking a question, what is natural disaster? And on the other hand, I am talking about how do natural disasters impact people and our environment? Which question do you think will trigger curiosity in the learners? The first question or the second question? Just mention that. I have two questions. First question is, what is natural disaster? And second question is, how do natural disasters impact people and the environment? Okay, second. Okay. Why second? Because first question, if I will say natural disaster, it is a huge topic. It is a good context for scientific inquiry. While as second question, it is an inquiry-based question. It is a compelling question which will trigger the curiosity in the learners, and it will shift the focus from the chapter to a particular concept. What it will do, it will shift the focus from the content to the concept. Because when we say natural disaster, under natural disaster, so many things will come. But when we are asking about how natural disasters impact people and environment, there will be a particular answer to it. The children will start thinking, they will start relating to their past experiences or anything. If they have come across any kind of, if they have witnessed any earthquake or seen any flood, they will be able to relate to it and they will be able to answer about it. Okay, so probing questions, we also call it as essential questions in inquiries terminology. So it forms a very important part of our lesson. Okay, next is unpacking the phases of inquiry. Now please listen carefully. These are the 5 stages of inquiry cycle. It starts with tuning in, then comes finding out. After that, we have sorting out, going further, and reflecting and acting is at the last. Okay. So when I say tuning in, this phase is about activating the prior knowledge of the learner so that we can make their thinking visible. This we do with the help of VTRs, so that we know what our students understand about this topic, what they already know about this topic. If they have any misconceptions, what is that misconceptions that they hold? And how we do this tuning in? We do this tuning in maybe with the help of a small activity or with the help of some pictures, some videos, some questions. So this phase helps teacher to unlock the curiosity of the learners, and whatever they are thinking about it, the teacher knows, and it will help you in planning the lesson in a better way. So tuning in is a very important part to tune in into the chapter. Okay. After that, the second phase of inquiry is finding out. So finding out is the process where we let children gather information from the text that we have provided in the book, or maybe we have given them some research work to do, or we engage them in different activities where they discuss their opinion, whatever ideas they have about that, they discuss that under this finding out. Okay. After finding out, we have sorting out. Under sorting out, see, in tuning in, we are tuning into the topic, we are trying to assess their prior knowledge. Under finding out, we are giving them information, they are gathering information through different resources. But under sorting out, now they already have some knowledge about the topic. Under sorting out, they are trying to analyze the things. They are trying to share whatever discoveries they have made or whatever they have done, they are trying to share that. They try to make some patterns, some connection between the different topics. Okay. And under this sorting out section, they have the deeper understanding of the concept. After that, we have going further. So in going further, we give more responsibility to the student. Now, if we have an activity, we plan activity in a way where we give some kind of instruction to our learner and we let the learner to explore the rest of it. For example, if I am asking my learner to create a model, okay, or to create a for example, say different types of animals, like chart unko banana hai. So I'm just giving them the pictures. I'm not telling them whether they need to classify these animals based upon their habitat, based upon their movement. We are not telling them. So we are letting children explore their understanding. So in a way, under going further, we deep dive into the concept. We let them deep dive into the concept so that they are able to retain whatever they have learned. Okay. And the last stage is the reflecting and acting. So under reflecting and acting, whatever they have learned, they reflect upon it. They try to apply their learning, apply their knowledge, apply their skills to other areas. So these are the different phases of inquiry that we have. So first is tuning in. Tuning in is what we tune into the topic with the help of images. It is to check the prior knowledge of the learners so that we can plan our lessons in a better way. After that, we have finding out. Under finding out, we let our children gather information, we let them research, and we engage them in different kinds of experiences. Under sorting out, we let our children to make connections between different topics. They make patterns, trends. They are basically trying to sort out the things based upon their understanding. So this, from this sorting out, we can do a kind of assessment. This is a type of critical assessment of the learners as well. After that, undergoing further, what we are doing, we are giving responsibility to the children to explore, to do things on their own. And under reflecting and acting, whatever they have learned, they reflect upon that, they get the feedback and they try to improve it. Am I clear? Okay. Now we are going to talk about the topic plants around us. This is the this is the topic upon which we are going to do this inquiry cycle. Okay. So our learning objectives is to identify different types of plants around them and their features. Then to describe the different parts of a plant and their functions. So we have two learning objectives for this. So first learning objective is we need to identify different types of plants around them and their characteristic features. After that, we have to describe the different parts of a plant. Okay. If you have to teach this, how will you teach this topic? Anyone, you can write in the chat box. If you have to do this chapter with the children, these are your two learning objectives that you have with you. How you are going to do this with your tell about nature, show coriander leaf plant, we show leaves and plants. Okay, we will take students to garden, nature walk. Nature walk is a good idea. Visit to the school grounds, show them plants. Okay, videos by showing plants. First, we will tell about what we are, show a plant and explain photos. Okay, now let's see how we have done it. Okay, so what can you see here? We can see the first stage of the inquiry cycle, that is tuning in. We are tuning in into the topic. Okay, so how are we tuning in? We are showing the three pictures to the learners. And we are asking them, what do you see in these pictures? What do birds use for building nests? What you can see in these pictures? We can see different types of nests being built. What do birds use for building nests? Okay, twigs maybe. What kind of trees do you notice in the images? What kind of trees do we have here? We have tall leafy trees, dry thorny trees. We have tall grasses. Why do birds need nests? So if you will see this, we are not just showing the pictures to the learners. See, we have to talk about plants, but can you see that how we are relating it to the nests also here? Because from this, you see how we are taking it to its characteristic features. Okay, so let me see, why did we ask about these nests? Because in our book, if you will see, this is chapter number 7 from your grade 1. So this chapter is about plants. Okay. And the characters, as you know, we have the character-based book. So our character here is Minnie. And Minnie is who? Minnie is a little sparrow. She is looking for a place to make nest in the garden. So what is Minnie trying to do? She has to make nest in the garden. So for that, she is looking a place. Okay. Now you see how we have given the instructions. We have given the instructions. Meet Minnie. She is looking for a safe place to build her nest. Can you help her? Okay. Now I have a question for you here. What do you see in this picture? What do you think about it? What does it make you wonder? Okay. My question is, what do you see in this picture? You can type in the chat box. Bird's nest, then bird's nest. Only bird's nest. Where is the bird's nest? Okay, I'm talking about this picture. We are doing the VTR here, garden. Okay, plants, planting new plants. Okay, plantation. Okay, so if you will ask me to what do I see in this picture? In this picture, I can see two people. One is planting trees, and the small girl is helping him. I can see a dog, I can see a sparrow, and then I can see different types of plants. Okay. And I can see these two, they are potting the plants. Maybe they are father and daughter. Okay. Planting. Okay. And what do you think about this picture? Why they are planting? Because this is their garden. They want to make their garden look beautiful. And what do you wonder about it? What is the dog? I am wondering what is the dog doing here. Okay. So like this, we do the VTR with the children. Okay. After that, after doing this strategy, I have a set of questions here. Which of the plants in the picture would be the best for Minnie's nest? Now, if you can see that I have different types of plants here. So now I am asking to my learners, which plant will be best? Is this small plant is going to be best, or this flower plant, or this banana tree, or this big tree? Where do you think Minnie will make the nest? Circle the plant you chose for her nest. So which plant are you guys going to choose? Please mention it in the chat box. Big tree. Okay. We will choose the big tree. And why we will choose the big tree? Why the big tree? Okay, now why? I got the answer. We are going to choose the big tree because it is strong. So here, if you will see that we are looking at the characteristic features of these trees. So we have small plants also. We have a banana tree also. But on banana tree, we never see any nest. Why? Because it is not very strong and we do not have place there to make the nest properly. So where we usually find nests, we usually find nests on the big trees. Okay. So which qualities of these plants are good for making Minnie's nest? Strong, weak, small, big, strong and big. Okay. Now, after asking these questions, we again have few questions. Will Minnie like her nest to be in the banana tree or the bigger tree? If a bird chooses a tall grassy area for her nest, how do you think she can build it? Okay, how can she build it? Maybe she can plate the tall grass and make a base, and then she can put the dry twigs on top to make her nest. So if you will see, whole point of asking these questions here is, you can see that how through a picture, we ask so many questions. So will you think that it is going to be helpful for your learners? Will it be helpful for your learners? Yes or no? If you are doing in this way, will your children become more inquisitive? Yes. Right. Okay. After that, this was the first component of our book, that is the let's begin. After that, what we have tuning in section. Okay. So the purpose of the let's begin section is to check the prior knowledge of the learner. Then under tuning in section is basically, it acts as a connection between the previously taught concept, between the prior knowledge, where we are trying to assess the prior knowledge of the learner, and the next concept that we want our children to relearn. Okay. So first section, what we saw a Minnie, the sparrow who wants to build a nest. Next, what we are trying to do now, there is this mango plant. This is a mango plant, and now we are listening to the thoughts of this little mango plant. This mango plant is saying that when I grow up, I will become a tall and strong mango tree. Okay. So after asking this, now again I have few questions here. Do you think this little plant will grow into a big tree? Will Minnie be happy to make a nest in it? Why will Minnie feel happy if she makes a nest in the mango tree? Can you guys give me some answers here for these questions? Listen to the thoughts of the little mango plant. Do you think this little plant will grow into a big tree? Will Minnie be happy to make a nest in it? It depends on conditions. Yes, Minnie will be happy. Why she will be happy? Because when this mango plant will grow into a big tree, it will be shady, its branches will be strong with broad leaves, and the fruit will be sweet. So Minnie does not have to go here and there looking for the food. Okay. So this is how you need to trigger the curiosity of the learners. It is not, see, in our chapter, if you will see that we have all the components of the inquiry cycle, because it is not only the lesson plans that have been designed in this way, even our book is based upon the inquiry cycle. Our book has all the components of the inquiry cycle. The only point is that you need to learn how we have to execute it in the class. Okay. Okay, let me see some replies here. It will become strong and have fruits. Right. Okay. Next, I have a question here. Can plants be called trees? Discuss in class. Now, this is a question, and the children are of grade 1 level. So they will come up with their opinion, they will come up with their thoughts. But after that, what we are going to do in order to make their thoughts clear, we are going to show them a small video. Okay. Are you able to hear the voice of the video? Please mention in the chat box yes or no. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's watch the video. Okay. How was the video? Good. Okay. So what was this video about? This was about seed germination. Okay. And how did we germinate that seed? From the mango. Okay. How was the mango tree grown in the video? Okay. What did you like about this video? What was one thing you liked about this video? We can explain parts of the plant through this video. Yes. We observe the germination of seed and the benefit of plants for the environment. Process is shown. Okay. Another thing, anyone, I liked one thing about this video. Can anyone tell me what that can be? And that was shown continuously throughout that video. Throughout this video, that thing was shown. It was displayed on the screen. Days, yes, yes. So number of days, it showed how many number of days it took for a mango plant to grow. 365 days for 1 year. How many days, how did the mango plant grew from day 1 till day 365? Okay. So this is how before taking them to the exact topic, we showed them a video and then we asked them some questions. And if you will see, this video was able to address their question, can plants be called trees? Okay. And on the other hand, what this is able to do, this is able to link to our first topic that we are going to teach them is the parts of a plant. Okay. Now again, our second stage, that is finding out. So did you understood? In first, that was your tuning in. We showed them the picture and then we asked them some questions related to it. Then under finding out, what do? We gather information. How we gathered information? With the help of a video. And then we are showing them this picture, and with the help of this picture, we are doing a VTR with them. So what is a VTR? VTR is a visual thinking routine. So we have Mini here again. Which part of the plant have you decided to make your nest? The girl is asking, Sanvi. And the Mini is saying, part of the plant. Do plants have parts? So here, Mini is asking, do plants have parts? Now we are asking again some questions. Listen to Sanvi and Mini's talk. Mini is surprised to hear Sanvi's question. Are you? So we can ask children whether they know that the plants have different parts or not. Then, do birds build their nest only in the branches of the tree, or they build nests on the plant also? Again, we try to get what information or what knowledge do they have about it. So if you will see here, the connection that we have tried to make through these story connects that we have the conversation, we are connecting plants with the nest. So it means we are connecting the concept of habitats also here with the plants. So you can see how the critical thinking of the children is being evoked here, how we are making them to think in a critical way. Okay. After that, we are talking about the parts of a plant. So before talking about the parts of a plant, we told them about this. Then we related this with our own human body. So under finding out section, when we have finding out, they are exploring also here. So we are asking them, have you grown taller since your first birthday? Which part of your body helps you to stand straight? Which part of the plant does the same for them? So we are asking them before teaching them about it. Then we are asking them, do you feel hungry? Do you think a plant feels hungry too? Where is your food prepared and by whom? So maybe they will say, mother, cook. Where is the food for a plant made? So can you understand how the relationship between, how we try to relate it with our own self, so that the children are able to relate like us, the plants also grow. Like we have a backbone, the spine, with the help of which we are able to stand straight. The plant has a stem for it. Our mother cooks food for us. We feel hungry in the same way plants also feel hungry. So who makes food for the plant? It is the leaves of the plant. Okay. Then we showed them a video. I'm not going to show this video now. Okay. This video is about the parts of a plant. After showing the video, we spoke about the different parts of a plant. We explained them different parts of the plant. And then we asked them some questions like which part of the plant was below the ground, which was above, where does a plant prepare its food, which part of the plant is colorful and looks beautiful, which part is tasty but also has seeds in it, Okay, so like this, we are telling them that inside the fruits, what we have seeds also present inside it. Okay, any questions, guys? Okay. And if you will see that whatever difficult words we are using, for those difficult words, we have our word help also given at the end. Okay. After this finding out what we have, we again have this finding out section only. And under this finding out section, what we are doing, whatever children have learned, they discuss these quick check questions and they discuss about their findings and they get engaged in the group discussions. Okay. So first stage was tuning in, second stage is finding out. So under finding out, we teach them the concept, we let them explore, and we involve them in some small group discussions. We do some small activities with them. After that, our third stage of inquiry is sorting out. So under sorting out, what we have, whatever the child have learned, they try to make connections, they try to find out patterns, they try to make new meanings. It means whatever they have learned, they are trying to extend that learning, they are trying to relate it with the different topics. Okay, for example, we taught them about parts of a plant, different parts of a plant. Now we are asking them a question. Think of any two food items that you eat, which are leaf of a plant, root of a plant, stem of a plant. Now we are asking them a question based upon the higher order thinking skill. And this higher order thinking skill, under this under this question, what they are trying to do, they are trying to sort out the information that they have. And in order to have this, we showed them, we displayed these different vegetables, not pictures, but vegetables. We planned, because we plan a day before for the activity. So the teacher either asked the children or she got all these vegetables on her own and displayed it on the table. And now the teacher is saying, we learned about different parts of a plant. Here are some vegetables that are commonly eaten by us all. Now they need to tell which of these vegetables to them look like leaves, which of them look like root, and which of them look like stems. So do you think from when the children will explore, when they will experience this, when they will explore with their own hands, will they be able to tell this? Yes or no? Yes. So here, if you will see, the learning is happening in an experiential way. We see, we can assume that generally what we do, if we have to teach this, we will assume that it is the food only now. So children are eating food, and nowadays everyone is so health conscious. The parents keep on talking about these are spinach is a leaf, or beetroot is a root, sugarcane is a stem. So, but we are not assuming that. We are letting children explore, because everyone cannot be same. So what we are doing under this section, we are sorting out whatever they have learned. We are extending that their knowledge and we are linking it to the new concept. Okay. After that, under next section is your going further. So what does going further stage do? Going further stage, once we have taught the children, now we give them the liberty to do things. We are giving them freedom. We are asking them to take owners. We are guiding them up to an extent, but we are not telling them each and everything here. Okay. So we asked our children to list name of any 5 trees that are found near your home. So now the child is exploring and he's extending his knowledge. He is doing it. After that, we linked it to the English also by asking the child to arrange these names. Whatever names they have written, they need to arrange it in the alphabetical order. After that, they need to make the rhyming lines on it and share it in the class. Okay. After that, what we are doing, we are connecting it with the maths and arts also. So we taught, you know, that our curriculum is interdisciplinary. And when we say inquiry cycle, inquiry is based upon making cross-curricular links. Because when we make cross-curricular links, it helps to evoke the critical thinking and curiosity in the learners. They are able to comprehend in a better way. And here we taught them the concept of addition in maths. Now we are judging that knowledge here. We are assessing that knowledge here by asking the children. We have 4 petals in first flower. We are asking them to count the petals in the pink flower, and after that they need to add these petals. And for their creativity, we are asking them to draw the flowers also with the number of petals in the blank box. Okay, so this is how we are going further. After going further, our next stage, again, we are giving them a question. We are asking them a question. And this question is about the uses of leaves. For the question is, Anju's grandmother asked her mother to add some tulsi leaves and grated ginger in her tea to fight her cold. Can you say which part of the ginger plant is used in tea by Anju's mom? Research and share. And they also need to find out about some other medicinal plants such as cloves and mint. So if you will see here, they are again going a step beyond. Why? Because now they know that the leaves of the plants like tulsi, ginger, clove, they have some medicinal uses also. And in order to evoke their curiosity, we are asking them some more questions like, how many of you had ginger with honey for a bad throat? I guess recently after COVID, during the COVID time, everyone was following this routine. Along with this, they were having those gilloy leaves also, right? Do the elders in your house drink ginger tea with tulsi leaves when they have a cold? Now think of the part of the plant that these 2 important parts are from. Okay, now we are asking them to guess where the ginger, what part of the plant ginger is. Okay, so are you able to make the connections how you need to do this inquiry in your classrooms? Yes or no? Okay, it is a root. So are you able to make the connections? Yes. Okay. After this, our 5th stage of inquiry cycle is reflection and action. Now, if I will recall what we did first, we did tuning in. After tuning in, what was the second step we did? Second step was finding out. After finding out, under finding out, we taught them, we showed them a video. After that, sorting out. Under sorting out, we asked them to sort out different things, the edible parts of the plant. Okay, after that, under going further, we spoke about the different uses. We made cross-curricular links. Then the 5th stage of inquiry is reflection and action. Under reflection and action, what we are asking our children, now we are asking them to extend their knowledge beyond the classroom. So they have to go for a walk in a park or a playground, and they have to make a plant profile. They have to complete all this information. So the first question is, whatever the plant they are observing or looking at, they need to tell whether the plant is big or small. Do that plant has fruits? Are there any flowers? If there are any flowers, what are the color of those flowers? How was the stem? They need to describe it. After that, what do you think would be the length of its roots? So they are guessing the length of the roots from their understanding. And after that, they are drawing the leaves of the plant in this space. So now, are you able to relate how we are doing this step by step? Okay. Okay. For the next stage is again reflection, how the reflection is taking place. We taught them about different parts of a plant. We taught them about characteristic features of a plant. Now we are giving them a worksheet and they are completing that worksheet. So once they are completing that worksheet, some things will be right, some things will be wrong. So there will be a correction, there will be a feedback, and they will improve upon that feedback. So once they will act upon, once they will improve, once they will look at their feedback, that is how the action is being taken place. Reflection is once they do the workbook, that comes under your reflection part. But action is once they get the feedback, they change what they have, what mistakes they have made. So that is how the action is being done. Okay. And for this reflection and action, we do have a book also suggested at the end, which we ask our learners to read. Okay. So this is how, these are the different stages of inquiry cycle for primary. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. After that, I'm going to take you through the phases of inquiry for pre-primary. There is a slight difference in the conduction in the primary and the pre-primary, because in pre-primary the children are very small. We cannot deep dive into this inquiry so deeply. So we are doing it in this way. So first of all, we are triggering curiosity of the learners, maybe by showing some pictures or generally by showing a video. Then we ask them some questions about that. After that, we let them gather information which is in the book or provided in your lesson plans. After that, they have to present that information with the help of the Let's Do activity or the activity zone. And then there is a reflection, and reflection can happen generally through your worksheets that we provide them. Okay. So the first stage of inquiry cycle for your pre-primary is triggering curiosity, which comes under your connect part. So what we are doing, we are talking here about the care of the plants, taking care of the plants. Okay. So that is our learning objective. We are showing them the two plants and we are asking them which plants look healthy, plant A or plant B. What is the difference between the two plants? We are asking these questions to the learners. It is for pre-primary 2. What do you think has happened to the first plant? So we are trying to get whatever knowledge or whatever information they have about it, we are trying to get that. Okay. After that, second stage of inquiry cycle, that is gathering information. So we are showing these pictures to the learners and we are asking them the questions. We are showing the first picture and we are asking, what is the boy doing? Do you water plants? Second, what is the boy holding? Where is he placing the plants? And after that, after we get responses from them, we tell them that the boy in the first picture is watering the plants and the boy in the second picture is placing the potted plant under sunlight. Okay. Then, because we are talking about taking care of the plants, so we are showing them another two pictures. In the first picture, if you will see that the boy is plucking the plant, plucking the leaves or the flowers of the plant. So we are telling them we are not supposed to crush plants. While as in the second image, we can see that the man is cutting the tree. So we are telling the child, do not cut trees. And if you will see that we have made a emoji kind of here where it looks like the tree is crying. So we are asking them the questions, why do you think the tree is crying? Okay. After that, because we are talking about two potted plants, which we showed them in the beginning, now we are taking two potted plants. This is a demonstration that we are doing with them, and we are labeling these two potted plants as A and B. We are placing potted plant A under sunlight. We are providing it with water. Plant B is in a dark room and we are not providing it with water. And we are asking our children to observe these plants for a week or 10 days time and then share their observations in the class. So here we are telling children, we are teaching them exactly what happens to a plant when it does not get the prerequisite conditions. Okay. And then for reflection, what we are asking them, they need to draw two plants, one plant that is growing well and another plant that is not growing well. So this is how the inquiry is being done in your pre-primary. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Okay, now if you will see, this is in nutshell the inquiry based learning. So first step in inquiry based learning, what we do, we make connection with the unit or the topic. Second, we deepen connections with the topic. After that, we make inquiry groups. We make groups because we do these activities in collaboration. So once we do these activities in collaboration, the children come up with their understanding. They come up with their point of view. They come up with their experiences. And after that, we try to sort out the difference in their understanding, because under sorting out, if you remember what we do, we try to make connections. We try to make meaningful. We try to make meanings. We try to design some patterns, right? After that, what we do, we ask the children to draw conclusions. Then there is assessment and reflection. If you will see, for this inquiry cycle, the assessment takes place throughout. In the beginning, if you will see, tuning in section, we are doing assessment for learning. If you will see, when we are doing the quick check or the think aloud section, any questions that are asked in between, we are doing their assessment as learning, because the chapter is going on, and meanwhile we are assessing also what they are learning, what they are understanding. And in the end, when we are asking our children to do the worksheets, we are doing assessment of learning. Okay. Okay. Now, I want you guys to go back to the Nearpod, the link that we shared with you, and you need to answer this question there. Why should we use inquiry-based learning? You learned about inquiry-based learning. So from this session, what do you think? Why should we use inquiry-based learning? So link. So link has already been shared. You need to go back to that link again. So are you guys able to see this? So you need to answer this question on the Nearpod. The same link that we shared with you in the beginning of the session, you need to go back to that link and you need to answer this question: why should we use inquiry-based learning? Is it visible? Link is not working. Okay. No one is able to join. Okay, I can see some answers here. Okay, let me share my screen so that we can see. It is very useful for critical thinking. Critical thinking, yes. Okay. Why should we use inquiry-based learning? It is used for critical thinking. It is activity-based learning method, develop imagination, very useful, productive learners to improve thinking skills. It is very useful to trigger their knowledge, activity-based learning methods, self-motivated, self-exploratory learning to gather knowledge, exploration, triggering knowledge, critical thinking. As the inquiry-based learning enables the students, okay, to give a direction to kids' mind how to think, to make children inquisitive. Inquiry-based learning is helpful while engaging the learners and let them apply in day-to-day life. Okay. So it means you have understood what I was trying to explain it to you.
Please use this link.
Okay, so why should we use inquiry-based learning? Because inquiry-based learning, it pushes students' imagination or memorization power towards the application in new domains. It draws connection among ideas. It helps them in evaluating or completing the challenges, and they are able to create something new. Okay, this is, we have again 10 reasons to use inquiry-based learning. It nurtures student passions and talent. It empowers student voice and honors student choice. It increases motivation and engagement. It fosters curiosity and a love for learning. It teaches grit, perseverance, growth mindset, self-regulation, deepen understanding, enables students to take ownership, solve the problems of tomorrow in the classrooms of today. So these are the different reasons why should we use inquiry-based learning, because it shifts the focus of teaching, or it shifts the classroom setting from teacher-led to student-led. It leads to the student-centric classrooms, not teacher-centric classrooms. So the teacher is not the focus here, the student is the focus. In traditional methodology, if we will see, everything a teacher does, but in an inquiry classroom, it is a two-way process. The teacher is continuously interacting with the learner so that he is able to assess them throughout the cycle. It is not the assessment is happening only at the end once the whole content has been delivered to them, but no, it happens throughout the cycle. Okay. So next is VTRs, the visual thinking routine. Okay. So a visual thinking routine is basically, it helps in making the thinking of the children visible. So whatever our child is thinking, they are able to comprehend their understanding, and the teacher is able to understand what the child already knows. Okay. So while doing these VTRs, there are some things that you need to keep in mind. The first thing is that we need to refrain from using words like correct, good, bad, wrong, very good, excellent. We should not use any comments for the children. We should be neutral, because what happens if we give good comments to one child and to another, maybe we didn't say anything. So what happens? It demotivates the learner. So we need not to demotivate them. We have to motivate. So for that, we need not to comment them anything, because if we say one thing to one child, one good thing, and to another one, we didn't say anything, maybe that child will hesitate in comprehending their understanding for the second time. Okay. Next is the point to the area being discussed. Link contrasting and complementary student comments, because here while doing the VTRs, we have a number of things that we are doing with them, and there are a number of children in the classroom. So we generally, there are chances that we will deviate from the exact topic. That should not happen. So that is why, if that is happening, we need to drive the discussion towards the concept or the point that we want our children to discuss. After that, what is the role of the student in the VTR? They are supposed to look at the image. They have to talk about their observations. Whatever they are observing, they need to come up with a reason why they are saying that. They need to listen and consider the viewpoints of others also. And they need to discuss many possible interpretations. Okay. So we saw the VTR strategy, I see, I think, I wonder, and throughout the session, so many things you see that we do with them. So I'm going to tell you about few more VTR strategies that we can do with the children. So first is the OLE. OLE is what? It is observe, list, link, explore. So we show this picture to the learners. We ask them to observe the picture carefully and read the text. Okay. After that, we ask them to list the things that they can observe in this picture. Then we ask them to link it to a big idea. For example, here I ask them to link the seeds to the fruits. So now we need to see how they are able to link seed to the fruit. So can I get some answers for this? If I ask you to link seeds to the fruits, how you will do that? So you need to keep the thinking hat of a grade 1 or grade 2 child and answer these questions. So if I'm asking a grade 2 child to link the seed to the fruits, what do you think the child will write? Yes. I'm waiting for the responses. Okay. After that, under exploration, I'm asking the child, I'm asking them to explore the different types of seeds that they have come across. And then we are asking them to work in pairs and analyze the questions. Okay. Okay. So our next strategy is think, pair, share. Where we are again showing them a picture, and then we are asking them how do we grow plants in our garden, and we are asking them to share their points in the class. Okay. Now I have one interesting activity with you. You need to tell me what do you think this picture is about. You observe this picture first. Okay. You observe this picture first. And then you need to tell me what do you see or observe or notice in this picture? What questions do you have about this picture? Nature, beach. Okay, beach, trees, birds, different types of animals, nature. Beach. It is a beautiful beach having no trash, on trash. Okay, no trash it must be. Pleasant nature, sea, beach and birds. Okay, seashore and birds. Fine. So if you will see this picture, what do we notice in this picture? We can see seagulls and then we can see a starfish. There is a starfish and there is also something here, a shell, a seashell. Okay, then I can see a beach here. So I got the answers. So the answers were, what were the answers you guys gave me? Seashore, water animal. Okay, water animal is a good answer. Okay. How does climate affect birds? Fine. Now I have the exact activity for the learners. What they need to do, they need to take out Smile EVS and they need to open this chapter and then they need to read about it. So if you will see, what we are talking about here is animal habitat. So look that we have made the model of a forest. After that, we are talking about land animals, water animals, and animals that live on land and in water. Okay. So now, what was the picture about? Can you tell me what was the picture about? If you will, if I will go back to this picture. So what do you think this picture was about? Was it about a sea beach? This picture was about water animals, animals that live inside the water. It was about the habitat of animals. Okay, this is how we show this kind of picture to the learners. And then through a VTR strategy called layers, we ask them a set of questions and we comprehend their understanding and we take them to the exact topic. Okay. Okay, this was about VTR layers. Okay. So if I say EVS is not about literacy. It is about critical thinking, analyzing, and making connections with the environment. Okay. Now I have a small video for you guys. So I want you to watch this video. This is a very beautiful video. A very beautiful message is being given through this video. So is the video audible to all of you? No. Now, okay, you can just watch it. If there is no voice, no problem, just watch it. If there is just background music. Okay, no problem, no voice. But you can just watch the video. Yeah. So I'm playing it from the beginning. Okay. So all of you have seen the video? Okay. So now, before going to the questions about this topic, there is another approach of learning called as flipped learning approach. So the VTR, flipped learning approach, all these forms a part of the inquiry cycle. So how many of you know about what is flipped learning? Okay, my question is, how many of you know about flipped learning approach? Flipped learning approach. Okay. So what is flip? Am I not audible?
You're audible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So flipped learning approach, there were two chemistry teachers. So Aaron and Jacob, they used to teach a class of 35 to 45 students. So they were finding it very difficult to monitor the performance or monitor each and every student what they are doing in the class. So what they did, they came up with this approach called as flipped learning approach, which says that reach every student in every class every day. So how do we do this flipped learning approach? How do we implement this flipped learning approach? We plan for a resource that can be used as a flipped learning approach. So we record a video, or like that I showed you the video of this plastic, say no to plastic one. So we send the link, we share the link to the video, or we record our own video, or we give them any handout to read it at home. After that, we share it with the learner. After that, once they come to the class, we group them and we ask them to conduct either do any activity or anything based upon that video or that resource that we have shared with them. We ask them to make groups and then present their information. This is how we do the flipped learning approach. Okay. Now, the video that I showed you, it was as a flipped learning approach. So now I have these questions for you. What did the little girl saw through her bottle? You can type in the chat box. Future. Okay, right. She could see the future because we are using so much of plastics that ultimately There are plastic dangers of plastic. Okay. And then what message is the video giving? That the plastics should be banned. We should say no to the plastic. Say no to plastic. After watching the video, can you suggest some ways by which we can prevent plastic pollution? So can you suggest some ways? By banning plastic, by using things made up of biodegradable things, right? Okay. So this is how we do the flipped learning approach in our classrooms. So this is all about. So thank you guys. You have any questions? You can shoot them.
Please write down your question in the chat box.
Anyone has any questions?
No.
Okay.
You can also unmute yourself and ask the question.
What if there is no chance of linking different subjects? Can you give me an example? See, it is not necessary that for each and every concept that we need to create the link, but I don't think so. There is no chance of linking different subjects. What if there is no chance of linking different subjects? See, if you cannot integrate other subjects, at least art can be integrated everywhere. Whatever topic you are teaching, you can integrate art subject with it. Or you can ask them to write their understanding, write their reflection of that topic. That will be checking their literacy skills. So it will be your English subject. So there is always a scope for integrating other subjects.
Pragya ma'am, there's another question.
Yeah.
How can flipped learning applicable to pre-primary section?
So flipped learning for pre-primary section, see, you have the tuning in videos in your books. You have the QR codes given. So what you can do so that your children will have a better understanding, you can ask them to, you can write a note on their diary and ask their parents to scan that video, and they can just scan that QR code and they can watch that video at their home. So that next day, once they are coming to the class, they have an idea about what they are doing. So flipped learning we can apply it in this way for the lower grades. Is flipped learning about sharing videos with students only? No. Flipped learning is not only about sharing videos, but for pre-primary, we can do it by sharing videos because the rest of the things they will not be able to do. And we do not prefer to give homework to the children. And we do not expect our,
in pre-primary, we can show the stories, and after that, we can ask questions related to the story.
Yes, we can do that. So, but it is flipped learning when we are giving them that link to watch it at home, and next day again we are showing them in the classroom, and then we are comprehending their understanding. This is how we do flipped learning for your lower grades.
Okay.
Any question on the inquiry cycle? I had all questions for flipped learning, which I hardly, I guess, took for 5 to 7 minutes. So no questions on means we give a kind of homework. See, it is a kind of homework, but in this homework, they need not to write anything. They just have to watch a video, and children usually like screen time.
Yes, we do have a session tomorrow. Same timing, 4:30 to 6, but for grade 3 to 5.